Are you tired of your online fundraising feeling like a constant uphill battle? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down a 5-step system that's designed to change all that. It's all about creating a repeatable process, a machine really, that finds new donors and builds sustainable growth for your organization week after week. So, let's get into it. Does this question hit home? You know, you're not alone. So many nonprofits put in a ton of effort. You're posting, you're hoping, you're trying everything, but those consistent, predictable results just never seem to show up. It's a really common and frankly frustrating challenge.
In fact, our source material has the perfect name for this. They call it a frustrating cycle of effort and uncertainty. And that's exactly what it is, right? It's that constant churn of doing the work but getting these inconsistent results that just drains your team's time and energy, leaving you feeling like you're spinning your wheels.
But, and this is a big but, there is a better way. We're about to walk through a 5-step system that can actually transform that uncertainty into predictable growth. And the best part? You don't need a huge budget or a massive team to pull this off. Okay, so it all starts here with step 1, the foundation. Because before you can build any kind of effective fundraising system, you have to know exactly who you are building it for.
The key insight, the big idea here, is to stop trying to appeal to absolutely everyone. That approach just waters down your message until it means nothing to anyone. Instead, you need to get laser-focused on defining your ideal donor, that one specific type of person whose values and concerns are just a natural, perfect match for your mission.
And these 3 questions are your roadmap. They get right to the heart of it. See, it's not just about who cares about your cause. It's about understanding what problem they are already worried about in their own world, and then, and this is crucial, figuring out how you can help them feel like the hero who gets to solve it.
So let's make this real. Here's a perfect example. Instead of a vague target like people who care about kids, you get a super specific person. For a child sponsorship program, that might be a local parent who's deeply invested in their community, or maybe a retired teacher who is passionate about education. See the difference? All of a sudden, your messaging can become so much more personal and compelling. All right, so once you've got your who clearly defined, it's time to build the engine that's going to attract them. This next part covers 3 steps that are all interconnected. 2, 3, and 4, they all work together as one cohesive system to draw in your ideal donor and start building a real relationship.
The first piece of your engine is what we call the donor magnet. Now, this is really clever. You're not asking for money right away. Instead, you're offering something genuinely valuable and free, like a guide, a checklist, maybe a starter kit, that your ideal donor actually wants. In exchange for this awesome resource, they give you their email address, and that's what opens the door to building that relationship. Here's a fantastic example from the source material. For a food bank, imagine offering a smart shopper's guide to helping your local food bank. It's perfectly aligned. It gives real, tangible value to someone who already wants to help, and it positions your organization as a helpful authority long before you ever ask for a dime.
So you've created this great resource. Now what? Well, step 3 is super simple, but honestly, it's so important. You have to make sure people can actually find it. A donor magnet is totally useless if it's buried somewhere on page 7 of your website.
And here are just a few really simple, practical ways to do that. Feature it right on your homepage with a clear call to action. Put the link in all your social media bios. You can even add a link to your email signature. The whole goal is to make it a constant, visible invitation that's just everywhere.
Okay, so once someone downloads your magnet, that's when the real relationship building kicks in. Step 4 is this very structured 5-part email journey. And listen, this isn't a random series of asks. It's a deliberate path that takes them from welcome to action. You start with gratitude, then you share a powerful story, you paint the big picture, show your credibility with real proof, and only then, after all that, do you make the ask.
And that brings us to the final, and maybe most powerful step in the whole system, the amplifier. Once you have this engine up and running, you can add this last piece to seriously scale your reach through the power of your community.
This is where your micro-ambassadors come into play. Now these are the supporters you already have, your board members, your volunteers, your most engaged social media followers. They are your secret weapon for expanding your reach and building that deep, authentic trust.
And this little comparison right here shows exactly why they're so powerful. When your organization posts something, it has institutional trust, which is fine. But when one of your supporters shares that same message, whoa, it reaches their entire network, and it comes with authentic personal trust. That kind of peer-to-peer recommendation is absolute marketing gold.
Now, the trick here is to make it incredibly easy for your supporters to share. Don't make them think. Just provide them with a simple copy and paste script like this one. It's direct, it's emotional, and it has a really clear call to action. When you remove all the friction, you empower your community to become your best advocates.
So there you have it. We've gone through the entire 5-step system, from finding your who all the way to amplifying your message. So let's just wrap this all up with a clear takeaway and your action plan.
Here it is, all in one place. These are the 5 core pillars. It's just a logical flow, right? You know your donor, you attract them with a magnet, you make that magnet super visible, you nurture the relationship with email, and then you leverage your micro-ambassadors to amplify your message. This is the repeatable system for predictable growth. Okay, so this brings us to the most important question of all. Building this whole system isn't about trying to do everything at once. It's just about taking that first small step. So what is one thing your organization can do this week? Could you maybe spend just 30 minutes brainstorming your ideal donor? Or maybe just sketch out one idea for a donor magnet? That first step, that's all it takes to start building a much more effective system.